When we're finding inverses of a function, your first step is always to switch x and y. Your second step is to solve for y, which means get y on a side by itself. So number 18, remember that f of x is a fancy way of saying y. So we have y equals log base 3 of x. Your first step, switch your x and your y. So x equals log base 3 of y. Step 2, get y by itself. Here's where we encounter a problem. Y is currently stuck inside the log. You can't divide by log base 3 because log base 3 is not a number, it's an operation. So the y is inside the log. The only way to get the y out of the log is to change forms. So up here where it says get y by itself, you may want to add the note change forms. And as we get further into solving logarithms and solving exponential equations, basically when you get stuck, change forms. So if you're stuck with x in the exponent, change forms. If you're stuck with y inside the log, change forms. So this is where, see how the equal sign is on the left side? Let's do the log ride from the 3 around to the x and up to the y. Woo! 3 raised to the x equals y. Is y now by itself? Yes, so we are done. So try number 19 on your own. Remember f of x is y equals, start by switching x and y, and then change forms so you can get y by itself. Okay, so I changed my x and my y, and now I have to get y by itself. Y is stuck inside the log, so I have to change forms. Start at your base, do the log ride, around to the other side of the equal sign, and then around. 8 to the x equals y. Okay, number 20 is going to require us to remember what we just talked about a minute ago. What is ln? ln is the natural log, and do you see how there's no base shown? It would be helpful to rewrite this as log base e of x minus 3. That way, when it's time to change forms, you have a base to think about as you're changing forms. If you don't rewrite it, it just makes it a little bit harder for your brain to see what to do. So first step, switch x and y. Second step, change forms. Because we wrote it out as log base e, our base is e, do the log ride. Woo! E to the x equals y minus 3. Is y by itself right now? No, we have to get y completely by itself. What could we do to get that y by itself? Add 3 to both sides. So e to the x plus 3 equals y. Take a moment and do number 21 on your own. Oops. Okay, so even though we just talked about this a minute ago, it might be helpful in your notes to note that ln is the same as log base e. That is the definition of what ln is. So ln of x minus 10 is the same as log base e of x minus 10. And when you're doing inverses, it's helpful to have that base so that when you change forms, you have your base to write down. So rewriting log with no base or ln as log base whatever is very helpful.